Let's get more now with DW Washington correspondent Stefan Simons. Stefan, the president is hoping his primetime appeal will build public support for his border plan. How likely is that?
Unlikely, I would say, if you are referring to the entire public of the United States. He has the backing of conservatives and Republicans and, of course, of his base. They are overwhelmingly for the president, and they are also supporting overwhelmingly the stance and the argument the president makes. Everybody else pretty much is a little bit more differentiated and says, again, the president is making up or forcing a crisis at the southern border of the United States on the American people, doesn't get his facts straight, and is keen on fulfilling a campaign promise, which he now can't with a Democratic House of Representatives, because, as you pointed out before in the reporting and with the clips, these Democrats are in no way prepared to follow the president's lead and give him what he wants, $5.7 billion for the border wall.
Okay, this was the president's key campaign promise, building the wall. Let's take a listen to some more of what President Trump had to say.
The border wall would very quickly pay for itself. The cost of illegal drugs exceeds $500 billion a year, vastly more than the $5.7 billion we have requested from Congress. The wall will also be paid for indirectly by the great new trade deal we have made with Mexico.
Stefan, so who will be paying for this wall if it moves forward?
Well, the American taxpayer will, because as the president says and explains here, the follow-up deal of NAFTA is not even ratified by Congress, and Democrats have already said they have questions and will have some kind of opposition to ratifying this deal, number one. And secondly, he got his fact wrong there too. It doesn't work like this, that if you have revenue or more tax income from a trade deal you make, that this will be earmarked for a border wall. So this is not going to happen, that any follow-up deal for NAFTA will pay for the border wall. It will be, if he gets what he wants, the American taxpayer who will pay for the border wall, which will be diametrally different to what he promised in his campaign, that Mexico will pay. Well, the Mexicans, as you know, have said no way that they will be paying.
Okay, Stefan, in the run-up to this address, there was a lot of speculation that Donald Trump would declare a national emergency to allow him to build the wall without congressional approval. He didn't mention that in this speech. Is that still an option?
That is still an option, but more so maybe in his mind than in reality, because reportedly he was told by his aides and by his legal advisors that he would fairly quickly run into trouble and that the declaration of an emergency, national emergency, would not work for him. And it makes sense. The opposition, and therefore Democrats, but also independent observers and experts have said if the president is going to declare a national emergency, this will be immediately, almost immediately, a case for the courts. This can take months, weeks, years even to be resolved. And at the end, the national emergency will not translate into a national emergency executive order or something like this. So there's a good chance that he will never, ever exercise this right. However, we're talking about Donald Trump here. So when I say there's a really good chance it won't happen, there's also a good chance that he will do it anyway.